Today marks a very somber day in American history, 50 years since the assassination of our 35th president, John F. Kennedy.
Anyone alive back then has a story. For some, it's more personal. Former Governor Jim Doyle met then Senator Kennedy and deeply felt that tragic day in Dallas. This morning, he shared with us how he heard the news and how JFK inspired a life of public service.
From Dallas, Texas, the flash, apparently official, President Kennedy died at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time.
It was the day before his 18th birthday. Jim Doyle, a freshman at Stanford,
Here is a bulletin from CBS News.
watched the news unfold from his dorm room.
And I see that room, and that's what I always remember about that room, is that's where I was when I heard.
But unlike many of his Stanford classmates, Jim Doyle, just 5 years earlier, actually had the chance to meet JFK after a speech on the UW campus.
I'm sitting in this little room, 12-year-old boy, and the door opens, and there's John Kennedy.
Doyle's powerful father was a staunch supporter of former Illinois Governor Adlai Stevenson for president, both in 1956 and 60, shown in this Doyle family photo with a young future Governor Doyle on the right.
But I do remember very clearly he asked me if I played shortstop, which sort of was which I did, which was a tribute to the famous Kennedy preparing. I mean, they were interested in having my dad support them. That's what this was all about.
That meeting and Kennedy's famed charisma changed Jim Doyle's life forever.
I thought the line, the famous line about ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, really was his call to service. I've tried to live a life that way.
On November 22nd of 63, in a different era, Doyle stood in a line at his Stanford dorm waiting to call home.
It was like a death in the family, and they really, as I recall my conversation with them, they were very much in a parental role of sort of trying to comfort me, and like they would have if, a member of our family died.
A young man and a nation left to imagine forever what could have been.
You wonder a lot, I do, about what had happened if he had lived on and we had watched him age. And he got frozen in time. He got frozen in time by the assassination, sadly, but frozen in time as a young, vigorous president. And that symbol is incredibly powerful.
Well, last fall, Governor Doyle was a resident fellow at the Harvard Institute of Politics, which was established actually in 1966 as a memorial to President Kennedy, and his daughter, Caroline, remains deeply involved in that.
Such an interesting story, and those pictures are so great.
Yeah, our thanks to the Wisconsin Historical Society, by the way, for allowing us to share those with you. Many of them from Wisconsin, from the UW Fieldhouse speech back in October of 1960 to his final trip to Wisconsin. It was to establish the Apostle Islands National Lakeshore, which was just 59 days before the assassination in Dallas.
Wow, amazing. That was a really neat story.